What's up guys, Techmaster back with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the iPad Air 4 and seeing how it holds up in 2023. Now this iPad is still completely worth buying, and I would honestly recommend it over the 10th generation iPad because you can get it for around $400, which is actually a really good value. This iPad has 60Hz screen, a 14 Bionic chip, 12 megapixel back camera. Let me show that here. Yep. Touch ID on power button. That's one cool feature is it has Touch ID right there. That's pretty cool. Sorry, I'm just putting in my brother's password. Okay. And yeah, 12 megapixel rear camera, 7 megapixel front camera, and all that stuff. We don't have a 120 hertz screen, but that's okay. It still feels very good. And if you open up like settings, it's still pretty quick. Yeah. It's still lightning fast, A14 chip. So so this chip has a 6-core CPU, a 4-core GPU. This iPad has 4 gigabytes of RAM. It's not the iPad Air 5 does have better specs. So let's see. I'm gonna show Minecraft quickly. It's not as fast. It's not slow, but it's not like, see, there is a big delay. It's also pretty choppy, as you can see. It's not great, if you know what I mean. It's not slow, but it's not like amazing either. So let me hide this. Then if we open up, basic apps. This is on the latest software updates. I am checking to make sure, but yeah, 16.3. So it does have some weird issues with that. So yeah, it's not the best though. I mean, in terms of performance, but it is good though. It has a 4-core GPU, again, 6-core CPU. My one complaint though with this iPad is the battery life. I feel like the battery does age, especially if like my brother has had his for a year. The battery life isn't horrible. Like it can get him a couple hours, but it's not great, if you know what I mean. Like for doing, especially for light tasks and better, the iPad Air 5 will have better standby time. I used mine for math at school, and it didn't die for it lasted basically a full hour standby time with brightness turned all the way down. It has great standby time, the new iPad Air. The iPad Air 4 does not have as good standby time. Oh yeah, and then we have a 10.9 inch screen. I forgot to mention that. Again, yeah, 10.9 inch display. Liquid Retina display, because if you look at, well, actually, I can't show it right now, but the older iPads, like the iPad 8, I'm actually using to film this, has a Retina display, which is lower quality. It's not laminated. This does have a laminated display, which is good. That's another thing, too. The iPad 10th generation does not have a laminated display. So it's the same screen, but it's not laminated. So the colors aren't as good. But yeah, basically, the iPad Air 4, I think, is a better value than the iPad 10. Because it's cheaper too. The only benefit of having the 10 is you get 5G and the ultra-wide landscape camera, but this still has a pretty good front camera. And again, if you're in the market for the 10, I would just recommend going up to like the iPad Air 5 or something. Yes, it is more expensive, but it's so much better in so many ways. It's got a laminated screen, M1 chip. Let's see what else. Laminated screen, M1 chip. Better speaker quality. What else? And then there's a bunch of other things for it. Trust me, there's a lot of things that make it better. Faster USB. The iPad 10 supports USB 2.0, which takes about 11 minutes to transfer for basic files. Even the iPad Air 4 has faster USB-C transfer. I'm saying the iPad 10, they did... Oh, and so fifth thing, or actually, I think the fifth... Yeah. Fifth thing, the iPad 10 only supports the first generation Apple Pencil, so it doesn't have this thing at the top, which is the Apple Pencil adapter, that thing right there. So yeah, it supports the original Apple Pencil, which is so annoying because then you have to, first of all, it looks ridiculous when you charge. We have to plug it into the bottom, and also you need like a dongle and stuff to attach it. So it's just really weird. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's great, but... So yeah, again, getting back to the iPad Air 4, it's pretty good. The speakers are good. The speakers are pretty good. I'm not going to show it because I don't want my brother getting pissed about stuff, but yeah. Anyway, this is a good iPad for sure, and I would highly recommend it if you're in the market. If you, again, this is a better value than the 10, and then if even it's still a little more expensive than the iPad 8th generation, but it's so much more worth it though. You got a much faster processor, a much better screen, everything about them is better. But I'm saying if you're in the market for an iPad, this is definitely not a bad option. Yeah. And I would because again, it's like $400 now, which is really good. Because this used to cost $600, so it had a big price decrease. So definitely would recommend the iPad Air 4. Yeah. Anyway, guys, that pretty much sums up this video, and subscribe.